Hey, happy Monday, Home Care Partners. This is Coach Leslie coming to you this morning. Okay, so we're going to talk about how do we handle when we hire a caregiver to go out to a new client that we have. Client is anxious. Usually a lot of times they need a caregiver like yesterday. So it's important for us to know that obviously, yes, there's an urgency. So let's say you hire the caregiver doesn't show up. What do? Obviously, most of us that have been in business for a while have been through this and still go through this. So it's not a matter of panicking. It's not a matter of something you did wrong, but it does help you learn the process of staffing. So if that happens to you, you call the client right away or the client's family person that's representing the file and explain to them at this time the caregiver I cannot get in touch with. Never say whatever. You don't know anything yet. Let them know you need to get back to them and let them know what's going on. For some strange reason, you can't reach your caregiver, and you will be in touch with them on what the next steps will be. And generally, if that caregiver has basically ghosted the file and they don't want to work and they just don't know how to come to you and say, hey, I don't really want the job. Now you have to be quick in understanding that quicker than later. So now you can move on, explain to the client, hey, this is what's going on. Unfortunately, this caregiver was a no-show. And that happens. If you explain that in your intake when you go in originally, they know, and a lot of times they've been with other agencies, so they know this happens. So it's not a matter of you feeling like, oh my God, because what that might do is cause you to send the wrong caregiver. So let's say there was a couple of caregivers you interviewed and maybe two of them wasn't the best, but you thought, okay, so now this caregiver that you did like no-showed, and so you go back to the ones maybe that weren't the most qualified, and that ends up backfiring on you. Been there, done that. So just know that it's okay. You can explain to the client what's going on, keep your communication lines open, and that way you'll be able to explain when things like that happen. And let's say they start working the file and they've been on the file for a while and they call in. It's the same process. You have to explain to the family what your process is in those cases. You can work yourself towards having backup staff if you have that ability, where some caregivers may work as needed. They may be on call. But again, that system is touchy as well, because it is really last minute. If someone calls in, that caregiver that you have on call may only have an hour or two to get ready. So just let that family know that we do not replace family support. We do not. We're here for a set amount of hours to help this client. So if something happens and that caregiver is not available, client is still responsible for their own care. So hopefully that helps you guys. Go to CoachLeslie.club, join my email subscription, and definitely subscribe to my page so that you can be notified with more tips like this.